All right. If you're ready, we can go ahead and get set up. Another thing, if you don't have a mat, you might want some type of like pillow or blanket or cushioning because we're going to be doing some lunges and that might be a little hard on your knees. All right. Other than that, I think we're good. We're going to start in a frog pose. So what you're going to do is bring your knees wide here, kind of like we're doing a child's pose, but knees nice and wide. And then we're going to come down to our forearms here, bring the knees as wide as possible. And you're just going to shift back and then forward. And then back again, and then forward, and keep shifting, bringing out the knees out as far as you'd like. And I'm going to turn this way so my knees are on the mat so I get that cushion. Now, we're going to start this whole section today with the hips. So this is going to help open our hips to start. So shifting our hips forward over the knees and then back by where the feet are. Forearms down. And let's do 2 more holds, shifting back, hold it, and forward again to release. And then last hold, back. And then come up, plant your hands underneath your shoulders. And we're going to bring the feet in, to the knees in just a little bit. And let me let somebody else in, 1 second. Okay. So knees right here. One knee is going to go a little bit out. And the other leg is going to extend all the way here. So we're in this low Cossack position. You might already feel a stretch there, but we're going to add a thoracic extension here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the arm. If you have your right leg out, then you'll lift up your right arm. And it's going to thread, we're going to thread the needle underneath this arm here. Let the elbow rest on the ground. And then you're going to lift that arm up to reach and take a twist. And then twisting down again, thread the needle. So back of the hand comes down, slide it down as far as it wants to go. And then undo it, reaching up. Follow your hand with your gaze, reach back as far as you can. And back down again. All right, 2 more. We're gonna do 5 total. Reach down. Extend, and last one, thread that needle, stack the shoulders, and plant the hand down. We're going to switch by bringing the knee in first, and then the other leg is coming out. Spread them as far as you'd like for a deeper stretch, depending on how flexible your hips are. Shift your weight forward, and then lift up your left hand or whatever hands you haven't done, and then go ahead and thread the needle first. And then go for that extension. And then go ahead and repeat. We're going to do 5 total on this side. So you can really feel your back stretching in the opposite directions, both directions here. All right, and 1 more. All right, so go ahead and press up now. We're going to use that chair. So if you have it nearby, then go ahead and bring it over. And then we are going to cross our ankle over the knee to make a number 4 and sit down on the chair. So we're taking a seated pigeon pose. So keep the ankle flexed, knee out, press it down, and then lean forward, hinge at the hips, bringing that chest closer to the front leg. And then you'll really feel this in the outer part of your hips of that bent leg. So just leaning forward, gently pressing down on the knee. And we're just going to hold this out for a long hold here. So think about flat back, hinging, not rounding the upper back, and just leaning forward, sinking into this for a few moments. All right, go ahead and uncross the leg and let's move our way into the other side. Just cross the opposite ankle over, ankle flex, knee flex, and lean forward. It'll feel a lot tighter at first, but just hold it for a little bit. The more you hold it, you're gonna get more comfortable, start to relax into it. Good, and if you're getting comfortable, take a big breath, and on your exhale, see if you can fold a little bit more in half. And go ahead and uncross there. All right, next up, we're gonna stay seated in this chair, but just kind of scoot right to the edge of it and then bring your legs wide. So one leg out, one leg bent. So like we're in a Cossack squat, a side squat, just like that. One leg all the way straight out to the side, one leg bent. And so from here, go ahead and bring your hands down to the floor if they can reach. Now the height of your chair will make a bit of a difference, but try and see if you can get them to the floor. And then from there, we're gonna take another twist. So we're already stretching into our hip and we're gonna lift up the arm. So whatever leg is bent is gonna, that arm next to it is gonna stay down and the opposite leg is gonna take a twist. Hold it and then drop the hand back down to the ground again. And then go ahead and take your twist again. So two things stretching out here. One, you can probably feel a stretch in your hips. Two, still practicing those thoracic extensions. So spinal mobility here. Let's come down again, tap the hand down, reach it if you can, and then twist. Hold it up top, keep reaching with that hand. And one more, hand comes down, hand reaches up, and back down, release. Waddle that straight leg in. So now my right leg is gonna come into the bent side, left leg is gonna come out. Take a moment to get set up. When you're ready, bring the hands down and let's take that twist. Lift up your hand, opening up across the chest, your hand driving that knee out and bring it back down to meet the other, tap the ground and twist back up. Tap it down, twist up again. Back down, two more here. And last one. All right, now go ahead and bring that foot in now. So from here, we're gonna do a different stretch on the chair and we will be on our knees. So if you have a hard wood, maybe you could grab a pillow or double up your mat here. So that way it's not too much on your knee. But what we're gonna do is kind of come, stand in front of the chair, put your back foot on the chair. And then from here, we're gonna walk our foot out so we're in our lunge position with our back foot on the chair. And then just shifting forward into that as much as we want. So to deepen that stretch, if we're back here, you might not feel it. You really wanna move forward, lean forward, push the hip forward, and then stand up straight. So the idea is to push out that back hip flexor. So right where the thigh attaches to the hip bone of your back leg, that's what we're trying to push out to stretch. And so by elevating our foot here, it just deepens it into our quadricep as well. And we're just gonna hold this. Keep pushing the hip out, shift your weight forward, and 3, 2, 1. All right, drop the back leg, and we are gonna switch sides. So opposite leg can come up to your chair, knee on the ground, get it nice and stable, and then the front leg, bring it out nice and far in front of you, and then stand up, push the hip forward and feel that stretch. So actively trying to square the hips here. Again, we're going for a nice long hold here. So the more you hold it, the more you're gonna get relaxed into it. All right, one more big breath here and out. All right, you can drop that foot and you can slide your chair a little bit away now. We don't need that right next to us right now. So I'm going to extend the mat again, and we're going to do just a few more for the hips. So first up is a low lunge. So one foot right next to your hands on the ground, and then back foot way back here up on the ball of the foot. And then you're going to waddle your front leg out to the side. So I'm going to heel toe it out. So it's a wider squat. So if your normal lunge stance is on 2 separate train tracks, you're just going to widen it a little bit here because we're going to open up the hips. All right, so then come forward. And what we're going to do here is make circles with this hip, this bent leg. So I'm going to switch legs actually. You should see better with this one. All right, so from here we are back, and then we're just going to draw a circle with that knee. So I'm going over to the outside, pushing my knee out at a diagonal angle, and then I'm going to come around to the center and then in towards me and then back. And then I'm going to go again. So just using this hand to gently guide that knee around in a circle and trying to stay nice and low to come into this stretch as far as you want. So keep drawing a few circles there. Out, forward, in, and back. Let's do one more big circle here. And then go ahead and reverse direction. So now just come in first at a diagonal angle and then out. And if your foot starts to kind of shift, like it comes up on the edge, that's totally fine. And let's do one more big circle going in and then out. And then from here, we're going to practice, see if you can walk your foot out super far and then bring your hand down to the ground. And if you can, see if you can drop down to your forearms as well. And if you can't come down to your forearms, then just hold on your hands. But if this is fine for you, then see if you can tuck that back toe and lift up the back knee here to hold that. And if not, just keep your knee on the ground. That's fine. So lots of versions to stretch, but we're just going to try to get nice and low. All right, go ahead and drop the back knee. If it's elevated, push up on the hands. If you're on your forearms, step back and come onto the other side. So remember, the foot comes up, waddle it way up, and then waddle it out to the side a little bit here. All right, when you feel set up, lift up your hand, place it on top of the knee, and we're going to take those circles. So going to the outward side first, out at an angle, push forward, and then to center forward, inner, and back, and repeat. All right, one more outwards circle. And then go ahead and reverse. So going in now. And then out, and then repeat. Really driving that knee as far in each direction as it wants to go. All right, one more big hip circle here. Really sink into it. Nice. All right, now let's go for that low lunge hold. So remember, lots of options. Option 1, up on the hands. Option 2, drop down to the forearms. Option 3, see if you can lift up the back knee and come onto the ball of the back foot. Either way, we want to hold it nice and low, and you should feel a nice big stretch in that front leg, hip area. All right, push up onto the hands here. So now we got one leg forward and then the hands right in the center. And we're gonna push up off the back foot, plant it outside the hands, and then sink down into a low squat. So main thing is back flat and driving the knees out. So for you, if you don't wanna sit all the way low, that could just look like this here. You can see using my arms to drive the knees out and keeping the back straight, or you could sink that butt down a little more. It's up to you how deep you wanna hold this. But we really warmed up the hips nice and well, really moved them through a full range of motion. So this should feel a lot different than if you just sat in this when you were cold. And hold it out for one more breath. And then go ahead and drop the hands slowly, straighten the legs, come to a flat back, and then stand all the way up. All right. So from here, you are now in a standing position. You're going to bring the feet wide here. Toes pointed forward, feet nice and wide. And we're going to send the hips back, reaching back behind you until your hands can touch the ground. So the goal is to keep the back kind of flat here. So if you need to, just walk the feet out a little wider. We're going to take some windmill twists. So both hands are down. And we're going to take one of them and reach all the way up and twist and follow the hand with your gaze. Look up. Hand should be straight as you can, pressing back as far as you can, and then drop it right back down and switch arms going to the other side here. All right, back down, switch back to side number one. And down and back to side number two. Plant the hands, switch again. And twist back into the second side, reach up. And let's do one more each side. Remember, hips back, back flat, and then twist, reach up as far as you can. Second side. All right, now go ahead and waddle the feet in a little bit, bring the hands to the hips, and then slowly drive up. All right, from here, some standing work. So we are gonna take a few spinal rolls down. So we're standing up nice and tall, and we're gonna roll down one vertebrae at a time. So first up, tuck the chin, round the shoulders forward, upper back rounds, lower back, one vertebrae at a time. You can keep the knees soft as well if you would like. And then we're gonna round up, starting from the lumbar, slowly back up. And then when you get to the top, make sure you uncurl with a big shoulder roll. And then reach up with the hands. And if you would like, take a little baby back bend standing, reaching the hands up, squeezing the glutes, and coming back down. And let's reverse that again. So head, neck and shoulders, upper back, one vertebrae at a time, we'll reach down. Let the head, neck, and shoulders hang here at the bottom. And from the lower back, go ahead and round slowly, one vertebrae at a time up. When you get to the top, shoulder rolls back. If you'd like, reach the hands up and reach back behind you. And let the hands fall back down. Let's do one more of these spinal rolls here. All right, when you get to the top, shoulder rolls back, reach up, back bend if you would like, and then let the hands fall down. From here, let's take a few more of these arm circles. So we're gonna extend that shoulder roll motion. And we're gonna go all the way with our arms reaching forward and then back behind us. Trying to stay nice and tall and get our shoulders as wide as we can. So you're drawing these circles. You wanna make them as big as you can. One more, and let's reverse direction. So come from the back now, and now scoop forward. Or if you were already doing that direction, because I didn't specify, then just switch directions. All right, one more. And let the hands fall to the sides. And then we're gonna take some side bends, hands at the sides, and then one side, just let the hand travel down the knee as far down as it goes, sending the hips to the other side. And then drive back up, let the hands slide right up, level with the other one, and then go into the other side. Should feel a nice stretch in the side of your body here. And back to center, and back into the first side again. Switch over, slide to the other side. Slowly back up to center, and let's do one more of these each side. Down, big stretch, and up. And down to the second side. And go ahead and stand up. And let's place the hands on the hips. And we're going to take some hip circles. Just drive the hips all the way up to one side here, bending in half, and then drive it forward. And then over to the other side here, pushing those hips out, and then back behind you. And then all the way around again, side, forward, opposite side, back, and then let's go the opposite direction now. So come back to the side you came from, and then forward, opposite side, back, over to the side again, forward, back, and behind you. And then tuck those hips right back into alignment, standing up nice and tall. And from here, go ahead and bring your ear to one shoulder, really letting the opposite shoulder fall down. And then come slightly to the chest, so it's at a diagonal angle here. Chin to just one side of the chest, and you can use your hand to press down if that feels good. And then roll it across the chest, over to the opposite side, so you're coming down at an angle. You can use your head to press down, and you feel a stretch in that upper neck area. And then ear to the opposite shoulder here. And then bring the head back to center. We're gonna look all the way over one shoulder, so go ahead and just look over the right shoulder as far as you can. And then look over the left shoulder as far as you can. Back to the right shoulder. And then left shoulder. Back to center, and now let's nod. We just nodded no, so we're gonna nod yes. Go ahead and look up. Chin to the ceiling, and then chin to chest as you look down. And let's go again. Chin to ceiling. Chin to chest. Chin to ceiling, and back to center. All right. I'm gonna move the camera again here. All right, from here, we are standing. We're gonna take a big hinge at the hips, forward fold, and you can generously bend the knees. Drop the hands down to the ground, and then we're gonna inchworm our way all the way out through downward dog, and then into plank. And then from here, drop the knees and slowly drop down to the ground. So we're literally just laying on the ground here, chest to floor. Now we are gonna do some swimmer hovers. This is gonna be for the shoulder. So you are looking down, make sure when you're doing anything where your chest is to the floor, you're not trying to look up in front of you, right? You're looking at the floor. So that's step number one. So step number two, your hands are gonna come right behind you, backs of the hands on the tip of the tailbone here. So right on the lower back. And if you've ever seen like swimmers do the butterfly, it's kind of like that. So we're just going to lift up the hands as far as they can, And then start rotating at the shoulder, out, and then come overhead. Again, driving up the whole time. And after they land overhead, we're just gonna reverse the direction. So come back up again, reaching as far as you can, and then rotating to bring the backs of the hands down. So another thing about, if you've seen swimmers, you do the butterfly, or maybe you are a swimmer, I don't know. You're not just going out and up, right? They're trying to bring the arms overhead like a butterfly. So just think of that motion constantly pushing up. All right, let's do it again here. Wherever you are, keep going. I'm gonna start from the beginning. So if you're not going, then start with me. Hands down, lift them up, straighten, rotate, and overhead, keeping the chin tucked. And then we just kind of reverse that to come out. Over, out, and then rotating. And go ahead again. You guys can move through this at your own pace, but go nice and slow. So that way we can really focus on our range of motion in every part of this. All right, let's do one more big one. Wherever you are, finish the one you're on and then try and do one more. All right, when you finish, go ahead and plant the hands right underneath your shoulders and then push up onto your knees. And let's push back and take a child's pose here, reaching the arms out nice and long. Good, reach out as far as you can, let the hips sink down back. And from here, we're gonna stretch each side of the lat. So go ahead and rotate. So bring your left hand, back of the hand down. And then look up under your right shoulder here and you'll feel a stretch all down. Oops. All the way back down your left side of your back. All right, hopefully you guys can still hear me. My AirPod fell out. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so holding that one side, go ahead and rotate over to the other. So now right arm reaching nice and long, pulling it out. So trying to get that stretch right behind the shoulder, down the side of your back. All right, back to center. And then come on up. So that was it, guys. We focused a lot on hips, thoracic mobility today, a lot of that, and then also some shoulders there at the end, as well as just some full body rotations when we were standing. So hope you guys liked it. If you have any feedback or requests, definitely let me know, and have a great Tuesday. You're welcome, Lauren. Thanks for coming. Great, glad you liked it, Zen. See you, Ling.